Hello everybody, and I'm Red Haze, and thank you for joining me on my channel today. Today is October, 4th, and about 5:30. This week, I had my second session at therapy, of course, and let's go ahead and talk about it. To start out, we started out with what was the positive thing that happened this last week, or one negative thing. And with everybody, somebody always had a positive or a negative, which was good. Now for me, mine was positive because it's nice to know that there are people out there that do care about you and are very supportive, which is amazing, which I would have never thought anything about that. But super positive. I guess the one negative thing that I had to share was that, of course, I have finals at my college where I go at. Going to study to be a veterinary technician, which I'm super excited about. But also, the one thing that is the downside is where I have to work at, where I have to go by the other pronouns than what I ask people to call me by. Also, my biological name, then the name that I ask people to call me by. So that's actually a hard thing for me sometimes. But also, I guess, talking to some people, and also, my cousin saying that, do I really want to go through all of that and, say, hey, this is me, this is my pronouns, and, oh, by the way, I'm not going to be here that long, because actually I'm almost done with school. But anyways, sidetracking from that, let's get back to where we were. As for therapy this week, it was amazing. We got little folders, which I'm so excited about. Look at the back, look at the back, look at the back. So amazing. But yeah, these are the different groups that they have, though, which is amazing. So yeah, I'm actually in this one right here. There we go. That one right here. It's the gender diversity group, which is amazing. And they also have a women's one for, strictly women, of course. And then, for the, older people, Asian. And we also got our teen ones, and then our teen one, and then also, for men, which is pretty cool, though. This is my first one attended. My first, group therapy, so it's pretty interesting so far. Also, let's see, as for what else they gave us were some papers, and, one is called 10 Things a Transgender Person Should Discuss with Their Healthcare Providers, and it just kind of goes through some different things. So let's see if I can bring it up. Yep. So, yeah. I don't know how well the camera is gonna be right now. Probably blurry as heck. Sorry. So yeah, but number one, access to healthcare. Number two is, your health history. Number three, if you're taking hormones, of course. And four is cardiovascular. Five, cancer. Six is sexuality, transmitted disease, and safe sex. Sexuality. Let's try that again. Sexually transmitted diseases and safe sex. Of course, gotta be safe during sex, unless you want to catch stuff, or Lil Wayne, wrap it up. I don't know. I'm white here. Go along with me. Number 7, alcohol and tobacco, which is bad to an extent. Be responsible. All I can say. 8, depression, which is a big one. I can relate to that one. Injectable silicone, God knows why you'd want to do that. And then also 10, which is fitness, diet, and exercising. So let's actually, I'll talk about each one, for number 1, for the healthcare, access to healthcare. It talks about, how it's not easy to find a health provider for, transgender people or other stuff like that. Or, just saying it's hard that you can't find someone that will agree to treat you or who wants to see you, stuff like that. And, sometimes they just don't understand, they just probably just think, oh, it's a phase, or, oh, something like, what's the word, like, you'll get over it, or, but, you can't help it. It's kind of something that you were born with, which is fine. And, once you find the right person, they'll go with you all the way through, which is great, of course. Let's talk about number 2, which is your health history. Of course, you have to talk about your health history. You can't really lie to them about that. I mean, yes, I know it's going to be hard talking about, not saying your past life, but, it's stuff that you need to know. You've got to be able to trust the doctors. Of course, it's going to be hard because there's certain things you don't want to talk about or that. But the thing is that the more you tell them, the more they're going to be able to understand you and figure out, stuff like, be able to give you the right dosage for your hormones, your testosterone, or your estrogen, for even at that. Because if you lie to them, then things are going to kind of go wrong. And people, we don't want to die, do we, really? I mean, I understand that it's, how you want to get access to it and instantly want it and just start right away and be able to have a happy life and, be able to do what you want to do. But you gotta be able to be open with your doctor about these things. And number 3, hormones. So, as for hormones, kind of simple. Take what you are prescribed. Don't take other people's stuff because it could be too little or too much, and then we could have an out of whack body. You could even be put in critical care for the hospitals, or even at that, you could die. Simple. Number 4, cardiovascular health, which is, a transgender person may be at an increased risk for heart attack, stroke, not only from hormones, but also from cigarette smoking, which is a big one, because when you put hormones and something else together, they kind of don't mix well. It's kind of like water and oil, I'm guessing, would be my best guess on that one. I mean, I know, I understand with smoking, it can be difficult, it can be hard to quit, but once you get on the right path and find an outlet, it will be, well, I can say, not amazing because it will take time, but you will feel so much better. But not only that, you have to be careful, being as a transgender woman with your estrogen, because you can have, your blood clots, swelling, high or low blood pressure, and high blood sugar, which really isn't good, and you don't want that. If you're a transgender man, also ask about, blood tests you will need so that your testosterone will be correctly given to you. And also, like I said earlier, make sure that you have hormones that are prescribed to you from your doctor. Do not take anything out on the streets or, black market, whatever it is nowadays, because you really want something bad to happen to you. Anyways, let's see, 5, cancer. Of course, cancer is not always fun, but it is very rare to develop cancer, though, when you get your hormones. Sorry, I had a brain fart. Anyways, cancer. But, it doesn't hurt to, have yourself checked out, or, get your sex organs checked out, whatever you need. You want to stay good. You want to stay clear of the situation of it. You want to make sure you're all good for this stuff, though. But, just make sure you're all good and healthy for as much as you can be for this situation, of course. Number 6, sexually transmitted diseases and safe sex. Kind of straightforward on this one, be safe. I understand when you're younger, or when you're older, or whatever age you are, everybody wants to do it. Everybody wants to get the freaky on, but you don't know what that person has or anything. I would suggest personally, be truthful, be honest to your partner. If it becomes where you guys are going to be sexually active, end up, going together, getting testing done, or some stuff like, I don't know what they do. Just all the different kinds of tests that you gotta do, or even at that, just, make it a date, be like, hey, have you been tested regularly? Nah, man, I have not been tested regularly, or, not regularly, my bad, it would be like, hey, have you been tested recently? Nah, have you been tested recently? You know what, let's make this a date and go get tested. So, just stuff like that. Number 7, alcohol and tobacco use. So with this, make it simple. Don't drink a lot of alcohol and smoke a lot with hormones. The mixture of it does not go well and well. Remember oil and water? They don't go together at all. Okay, so if you're gonna drink very little, or at least responsibly. And also for smoking, same thing. Be smart. That's all that there is. Number 8, depression. Now for depression, it's very easy for, a transgender person to become sad, to become depressed, or even like that. Let's add in anxiety, to become anxious. Things may not go as the way you planned. Things may go not the way you planned. Things may go wrong. You might come out to your family, hey mom, guess what? And or hey dad, or surprise, happy holidays, I don't know one. But the thing is that it may not work. Not everything is sunshine, sugar, and rainbows sometimes. Yeah, so it can happen. Also, you make bad choices sometimes. Sometimes you don't think at that time. Sometimes you think, hey, maybe doing this is great. Maybe, harming myself is the best thing to do. Just take away the pain. But I can tell you, you can do different things. You can get treatment for it. You can go to therapy for it. You can do outlet stuff. Like, I like to do different outlet stuff. I like to write. I like to play music. I like to hang out with friends, make them laugh. I mean, it helps me some, which is great. And I know not everybody has the same outlet. I've got friends who like to write, who play video games, who like to draw and do art. Just tons of different things you could do out there then instead of hurting yourself and, or running to things like drugs and alcohol. Just things like that. There are multiple outlets that can help you with this situation of depression and anxiety, So yeah, 9, injectable silicone. There are transgender women who want to look beautiful. And I can say that, you're beautiful the way you are, inside and out. There's no need to be injecting stuff that you need that's gonna hurt yourself. Not only that, the needles, because they could be shared needles, hey, let's have a party where we inject ourselves, what if you didn't know this person had AIDS and then you injected yourself with it? You could get the AIDS or HIV or whatever, which is something you don't want to do, which I'm pretty sure nobody wants, but it happens. So what? There are outlets for stuff like that. There's no need to inject yourself with nastiness, but I understand that some transgender women would like to be more feminine and beautiful without the effects of the estrogen. So yeah, there are other ways, simple. And then number 10, fitness and diet and exercise. Now, you could take it at 2 ways. It could be 1, a good way, or 2, the bad way. The good way, you do everything correctly, you can, let's see here, okay, here, like they say on the sheet that, you could try and eat healthy diet and try to exercise for at least 20 minutes at least 3 times a week. Don't overdo it. Or, watch yourself with counting calories. Now, don't take it to the extreme, bad. But as for a good thing, you could do that. Or, if you need to, have a friend come with. Go walking, for like, go walking at a park for like an hour or so. Or, stuff like that. Bad is, your eating disorders, which I know you can't help. It's just something that you got in your head, but things like that. And I understand that some people don't have the time to do it, but if it's even just walking around your place for a good half an hour, or just going outside and taking a small stroll and coming back, just a little something every day, or like they said, 2 to 3 times a week. Nothing extreme. It's okay. There's no need to be crazy about it. So yeah, and then also the other paper that I got at therapy was this one, which is Know Your Rights in Your State You Live In, which of course is my bad, which is obvious right here. I can point to it correctly. Illinois, bye-bye, transgender issues. So this one just kind of talks about, can you change your legal name? This, how do I change my name and gender marker on my identification? Which restroom can I use? Simple. The one that you identify as. But, some people are still weird about it still today. But anyways, continuing with the questions that they ask, once I have officially changed my gender marker, can I legally marry someone of the opposite gender, or should my partner and I attain a civil union? Kind of passed the law already, so you can get married, which is great. Which, bingo, beautiful. Okay, and another one is, how does being transgender change my health insurance coverage? We also had, can I be denied healthcare based on my gender identity? Honest question, no, you really can't. Your medical providers can't refuse to treat patients. That's kind of messed up, and you won't be able to do that, As for a moment. Anyways, okay. 2 more questions here, which is, what protections from discrimination do Illinois and the federal government provide for transgender individuals, and am I protected by hate crime laws? Simple stuff, being able to read over so you don't feel bad, stuff like that. And then also, the last thing that we talked about was, we got into small groups, we had separated ourselves, like the non-binary and, the ones who are still understanding themselves and all of that were in one area. Then you had transgender women, and then your transgender men in the other area. See, now for me, I kind of bounce between the transgender men and then the non-binary, because I'm gender fluid and I'm still learning myself, which is okay. You don't have to know instantly. You can take time with this. So as for me, I bounce between talking to the non-binary to the transgender men, and what we talked about was some really cool stuff. I mean, I'm kind of older than the transgender men that are in my group, but that's okay. Age really doesn't mean anything, as long as you can connect is what's great. Back to where I was. Now, like I was saying, the age doesn't matter as long as you can connect with each other. Let's see, talking about different things, talked about high school, talked about homecomings, talked about proms, talked about, what we wear, what's it like for outside stuff. Just simple things. I mean, that's about it, But that's about it that I've got for this week. Hopefully post a video next week, and I will talk to you later. Bye!
No regrets, forgive me, no pretense, it's instinct. Your defects unthinking, there's no end, just meaning.